We also have what information do we have and how can we separate the information. A call data record has two identifiers for mobile. One is the SIM card, the other is the mobile phone number, and the SIM card is attached to your telephone number to subscription. But the call data record doesn't contain the information about your name, your age, your gender, your address. That is in other parts of the system. So you shouldn't have records in the system that contain all the information. You should separate the different information objects by the concerns you have, by the process, by the use, and then combine it if it's allowed. And for telcos, the model how to do this is described in the SIP framework team forum. This is very simple, and you have the same approach in healthcare with HL7. For other businesses, it's a little bit more complicated. We had an example from utility 10 years ago, where we said that we will not have customer information in the system that they collected the information about already. Because we said that we don't have use of it. It will only be one more source where we can have wrong information, because it's not the primary source. If we replicate between different systems, you will get lost. So limiting the information and separating the information in different systems make your data quality better. So this is very much about data-based design, information modeling. And if you go to Scrum projects, development projects, they don't much of that today, but they have to. So privacy will set a lot of different requirements for development team in the future. And we have to help them understand it. Then we have another challenge. I said that call data records were used for invoicing and you aggregate the information. But if you are a telco, you aggregate everything to a telephone number, to a subscriber. But if you want to use this information about who is calling who, where, different time periods, you are not using that for the invoicing, because that's what the reason said. I want to know where you are, who you call to invoicing. You're not allowed to use it for BI. Decision making, no. That's another purpose. And that was why the Danish taxi company was founded. They used the location information for their customers for business development, how to improve new services. That was their reason. Not allowed was the course. So you have to aggregate information and make it non-traceable or anonymize it in different ways in order to use it for other purposes. So when you're building a new data model, this is the elegant solution, then you have to assure that you don't have the individual traceable information in the system. Otherwise you have a problem with privacy. I don't have any good answers how to do it with today's system. But my take and my recommendation when I was working in the UK is to store as little as possible about your clients. And if you do it, aggregate it from subsystems. pretty big challenges, and the same goes with artificial intelligence when you want to have big data sources. How many of you are using Alexa? And how much do they know about you now?
Not too much.
Yeah. There's a reason I don't use it. Hopefully Siri is a better alternative if she understands. So, data protection by default. We have to build in that the information is protected. It should not be an add-on. And this is when designing new systems. We have our old systems, but when we're designing new systems, we must think of this. Or make large changes to existing systems. Privacy is important, and it can be very, very costly if you don't follow it. So I got the inspiration from this guy, but I'm on the right side, so hopefully I'm a good guy. When I started in IT, well, it was the financial department, we didn't have passwords for the system, internal systems. It was not needed because we have so few terminals and nobody knows the commands. Matrix, you know that. Well, some years later, we implemented passwords to access things. And that worked well for a while. But today, it's not the teenage hackers we are afraid of. It's about the state-sponsored hackers. An Israeli firm did some hack 2 months ago and sell those hacks to security services in Mexico, in Saudi Arabia, and other countries. There is a lot of examples coming up regularly. NSA, their tools for tracking phones and other systems, they was stolen by someone, probably Chinese, a year ago or two. So a lot of intelligence organization and states are trying to get the most information out of everything. And those tools, they leaks. So the criminals, they have them also. So it's a much more dangerous world out there now compared to 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So we have to protect ourselves. And if we don't collect the information, it can't be stolen. So if we collect the information, we have to ensure that it not get adrift. And if we have something that is limited. So the hacker situation is not going to be better, it's going to be much worse. When we did systems, we set up a firewall and had an outside perimeter. It worked in Jericho and in Troya, you can see the images. And another example from a service organization, it happened twice. I can go in, if I have access in their networks, I have to log in to the systems, but I can scan their reports on their servers without any big problem if I have a development machine. And find out how to communicate. Find the APIs, little bit of reverse engineering, and then change and steal everything. You can't trust those outside boundaries anymore. You have to design for zero trust security. And only phone, that's sandboxing. So you have to have that level of granularity when you're designing systems for the service also. You can't trust anybody else in the internal network. You can't even trust the other programs in your server. So you have to build up security in a different way. And Zero Trust Security Europe project is one way of doing it. We also need privacy governance. We have to have the controls in the organizations to see that we have roles, responsibilities, and way to enforce that we are doing the right things. So privacy regulations, policy strategies, whatever you do, if we can't follow up and control that we are doing what we should, then we have a problem, because that is also part of GDPR. You have to prove that you are following the rules. So it's much, much more than the consultation problem. And this is something that most organizations neither are so well aware of. DPOs may have a grasp of it, but from a general perspective, no. What is the business benefit? We talked about it in the morning. So I said we have 3 business benefits with doing privacy by design. The first is legal compliance. I work with a bank with FATCA regulations that got a very high priority in the board. Why? Well, if they didn't follow the US laws, if they went to a vacation, the CFO or the CEO, they will be jailed. I think that's a very good reason for the board to take it serious. If you get fined 4% of your revenue year by year, that's also a good incentive. So legal compliance to follow the rules, because the consequences of not following that is much, much more than before. That's one thing. You should be good at that. But with privacy design, you have the possibility for damage limitation. If you could do a good design, it's not if you have a hacker who goes in, it's when. If they only steal information that is encrypted, then have no use for it. If you don't collect the information, they can't steal it. If you have thrown it away when you don't need it, they can't steal it. If they break into one system and you only have a subset of the information, for example, if you have a location information, but you don't have any ties to other information about who is using that, then it's very much less damage if those information get encrypted. I have an example for myself using a cloud provider for administrative purposes. They were hacked by Chinese. But the sensitive information that I have was not in that system. What they got was a few customer information attributes like telephone number, address, name, contact person, not much more. Sensitive health information about other things were not sold. They don't have access. And then we have increased brand value. Talk about Apple's latest conferences. They use privacy as something to sell their products. If you take privacy serious, your brand value will increase. You're a good guy. People trust you. They will buy your products. And then we have the credits. And usually people go where the credits are. But what does this have with enterprise architecture to do? And this is what I have the behind the scenes. Every slide I have done has been mapped into Capgemini's IIF framework to show where does it belong. So everything I have been talking about is part of my normal architecture daily lives as 20 years ago. So privacy by design is not a new concept, the implementation is new, but what to do is do as you should do for the last decade. Thank you.
So we'll do overtime actually, but if anybody has any burning questions you want to ask now, please do, otherwise.
Very interesting, thank you. Just wondering, are there any specific methodology that we could recommend, people to take privacy seriously, right from requirement to delivery?
I say, as Tom used to say, that we have one method, is to apply the right method for the problem. So this is why I'm trying to give some examples. I think it's important is to explain to the stakeholders, both on the high level, but also the developers, that privacy is important, and we have to think about it. If you talk to the consumers, I talked to people in the restaurant yesterday evening, yes, privacy is important, of course. And if you are a company, don't take that serious, you will have a problem. And personally, I think that some of the companies that we talk about will have really huge problems.
Just a very quick comment. With all due respect, you sound very much like the security talking from privacy perspective. And I come from security engineering.
Yeah.
You haven't talked about trade-offs at any point during this. And I would argue consumers say they really want privacy, they say they really want security, but actually what they want is a bunch of cool features. And that's generally why they buy this. And Apple has lucked out because Facebook has screwed up really badly. And Apple, through a whole lot of tactical decisions, decided not to buy that.
Yeah.
So now they went, that's a massive tactical advantage, but they're opportunistically being developed. I don't believe that 10 years ago to say we will be developing this privacy. I think if it suited their business, if it suited their product owners, they would find it a privacy.
We talked about it in our session on the Tech Corner, and said that some companies will take it seriously, otherwise they'll sell low profit products, but they don't give a crap. It's the same as environmental issues. Does my production pollute or not? Some take it seriously, some don't.
Yeah, I don't think it's as simple as high value means like privacy. If you went around the car, right down with what they're trying to use data for. Critically horrified what they're planning to do with data they're collecting from your car the next time you buy something.
I probably have those.
I'm joking, we're already doing that.
I didn't buy a car, I buy an accessory to my phone.
You actually buy a rolling compute platform. Yeah, that happens as well.
At what point, though, do these kind of things become unconscionable in your business? Because a lot of them are now way past that point. You can't access basic services that are promised on the basis of that they're going to use your data. So the core systems cease to be available as a result of treating privacy as an add-on. Then at some point you start getting They're just here for people to use the open. Are they unconscionable within a non-functioning system? As across the whole market?